We start at the beginning. You guys remember we're coming in. The esophagus goes into this structure that stores food. That is the crop. So as this transitions from the crop, what is this little portion here? Nope, that would still be esophagus. Crop is part of the esophagus. It still stays part of the esophagus until it enters into a thickened area that's really more closely associated with this big thick gizzard that you guys recognize. So this thickened area here, that's proventriculus. So just to make sure to prove that point, that is all technically part of the esophagus, really up to here. Everything that is in that portion until it gets thick. So if you see a thickened area here, that would be proventriculus. Then this is ventriculus, or I will accept gizzard because we commonly see that as gizzard. That, of course, is where we would have the control of things that are going to go into the small intestine. The bird, as you remember, has a very distinct portion in their duodenum. This is called the duodenal loop. And what sits right in the center of the duodenal loop? The pancreas. So in a lot of cases, or really the only case, this is where you will be asked about pancreas because we can see it and it's very distinctly there. Very glandular type organ. We did see the sheep pancreas, but I don't think it got saved yesterday, and it's really hard to sometimes identify. It just looks like intestine, but when you cut into it, it's just thick and glandular, and it just really is this long, stringy type thing. So if I'm going to ask about and put a pin in the tube here, I would distinctly make sure you could see it that's in the small intestine. You could answer duodenal loop. As we extend down, this is where it would get hard. I would not put a pin here, because how do we know when it's turning into duodenum into something here is, of course, jejunum. It'd be right in the center. And so as we carry down from the jejunum, I could put a pin right down here towards the end. That's definitely away from the middle, so you would know that this would be the ileum. Yeah, so definitely I would put a pin in that region. Now you can tell, of course, in the bird when the large intestine starts. Part of the large intestine are these two structures, which are the ceca. I'm okay with ceca. Even though the pin is only in one, you don't have to answer cecum, because we refer to them as the ceca of the bird, meaning that both of them together. And so again, I'm not going to put a pin right in this rough area, like where does it really start? I will come down into here. In the bird, we mostly call it the large intestine. Even though technically you could say this was the ceca, this is the colon, and then instead of having a rectum, the bird would have this thickened area called the cloaca. Yeah. So if I put a pin here, you can answer large intestine. That's the one time I would accept that. If you said colon, I'll take that too. So it's either one or the other. Okay. Cloaca, there is no rectum in the bird, so we wouldn't answer that.
So duodenum still extends a bit further to on the loop?
Absolutely, yeah. And again, I've not studied all the bird physiology. I'd have to look and see what they've found. I would guess it probably comes right into this region here, probably starts to diminish and really turns into jejunum and then transitions into ileum. Yeah. There's some differences.